good, John?
Don't forget the mics for the purpose of the recording, okay?
Yes. Okay. Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the Town of Rocky Hill Public Building Commission meeting of Monday, August 9th, 2021.
Sound like you're on.
Mics should be on. John, you hearing me back there? We're good. All right, cool. This actually, I already called the meeting to order at our 4 o'clock walkthrough, so we're coming back in from recess. What's the formal process for that?
It's an agenda item, so you're just going to go to your next agenda item, which is called to
Okay.
order.
Yep. All right, just did that. Now, let's see. Approval of our draft minutes from our July 12th meeting.
So moved.
I have a motion made by Commissioner Gansey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Todd. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Minutes approved. Next item up is public comment. Do we have anybody for public comment? Public comment? Public comment, all right. Seeing none, we'll move on to our next item, which is our Community Senior Center project. Discussions and updates from our owner's rep, Colliers. David, the podium is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon. David Valerie Colliers. I'm going to keep in mind that I have Paul and Rocco going behind me, so I won't try to cover everything. I'll let them talk about stuff that's better for them to comment on. So I'm going to mostly stick to financials. See, this is where it's a problem, Sal. Okay, $10.5 million total project budget. Of that, we have just over $10.1 million under contract, of which we've paid just over $9.1 million. So there's a little over $1 million that is under contract that has not been paid out yet, that we anticipate being paid. Oh, and these numbers are from last week, so they don't include, for instance, PAC's last invoice or pay app. Actually, it might. But we have about $1 million that's unpaid. We have a total of $350,000, just over $350,000 in planned but not contracted, of which 174 of that is really contingency items, pending contingency items that have just not been approved yet. And then $145,000 of that 350 is in soft costs that have just not either been spent yet or will not be used. If you recall, I think it was last month, we released some of the planned but not contracted. Some of it trickled down to the bottom line for construction, and some of it also went towards some shelving and stuff that the town needed to occupy the building. If you take all of that into account, there is a balance on the project now of just over $22,000. But remember, there's also $145,000 of soft costs that we haven't tapped into yet. So it's a very conservative report. In the contingency log that you have, anything that's shaded, just to remind you, anything that is shaded has been either previously approved, formally approved, or has been rejected. And the white items tend to be the pending items. And those pending items are what make up the $174,000 in planned but not contracted under the contingency. So there's about $175,000 worth of items on the contingency log that are shaded, that are not shaded. They're the white items. So these numbers include anything that is on this contingency log that has numbers associated with it. So it includes anything that I know about, whether it's extended general conditions or wiring for exterior doors, the catch basin work outside, it's all in. So everything is included here, anything, and it's all outlined in your report. Any questions related to the finances?
Anybody have anything for David?
I do. This last item,
Yep.
that room we were talking about, we have to possibly remove 2 fixtures. that's this last change order for an approximation? You've got
Correct.
a placeholder $15,000 on that?
That's a wag on my part, but we have some conflicts with sprinkler heads and light fixtures that we're going to need to do some
Right.
reconfiguring. Last Wednesday, when I put these numbers together, that was my best guess, Sal. I'd rather carry something than nothing,
Yeah.
so.
No, I understand, I think it was that much.
You'll do it for 10?
We haven't finalized design yet.
Okay.
Right. I put things on this log as soon as I hear them, and then I put an estimate on it. I do tend to be conservative, yes.
Oh, that's good practice.
That was the only question I had on it, thank you.
Okay.
You guys got anything for Dave? No?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yep, thank you. Next up on the block is our architect, QA&M. Rocco.
So, good evening. As we took a walk to the building, you guys saw that the construction is progressing. We have finishes that are finalizing. QA&M's and RZ, as far as our design team, both interior and architecture, have been running through, doing precursory kind of punch listing, walking through with the site supervisor and pointing out stuff that we see as we go along. I'll let Paul talk about the progress and the schedule and as far as that goes.
Guys got anything for QA&M at all?
I just have, are you waiting for the substantial completion request before you do a punch list, or
No, what
Is it
we'll
kind of
do
a
is we'll, once,
go as you're going type thing?
once PAC says they're ready for a final punch list in certain areas, we'll do it. And we'll submit one. As of now, we're submitting kind of an unofficial one, so we are noting items.
Okay.
and giving it to PAC for completion, and it's either on his list or it's not. Most of the stuff we pick up is already on his list to have them complete.
All right, so we don't have a final punch list yet. We're
We
gonna
don't have
wait,
a final
we're gonna
one.
wait for the
I mean, if you
final
want
request,
access to
yeah.
the precursory one, Dave, we forward it on to Dave every week, so.
Okay.
And I'm assuming we're anticipating a certificate of substantial completion sometime soon.
Right, I saw August 20th, but I thought we were in September sometime, or was that always the date?
No, it's
I'm
the
thinking of a
grand
different
opening.
project.
Yeah.
Was it always August?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Are we gonna make that date? That's 10 days away or so?
We're pushing forward.
Oh, yeah.
Anything further for Rocco?
Nope.
No? All right, thank you. And now, it's your turn. Paul from PAC.
So just a quick update, schedule-wise. The exterior of the big push recently has been the replacement metal siding. That'll allow us to continue with the coping. One item that's lagging behind that we discussed earlier is the insulated metal panels. We did switch manufacturers with the help of QA&M, so we switched to MBCI. They're telling us anywhere to 3 to 6 weeks. It mostly depends on insulation, the availability of insulation right now. But we are hoping for it within the next 2 weeks. So you'll see the exterior wrap up, landscaping's in place, final pavement's down where we were allowed to pave. And then on the interior, as Rocco mentioned, the big push right now is finishes. We got a couple miscellaneous items that we're working through in the arts and crafts and multipurpose rooms regarding sprinkler and light fixtures, but with the help of the building department, nothing that will hold anyone up from moving in. We have discussed TCOs with them, as well as partial furniture moves, as you saw today, so we are working in that direction, but nothing that at this time impacts that ribbon cutting. So it's a very broad idea of schedule, but any questions or concerns?
So we're going to different metal panel?
Yes.
So what do we do about, at the top of the gymnasium when you have two different panels going? So you got the front face, and then you got the two returns, or at least one return. Are you changing everything?
That's the metal siding.
Yeah, metal siding versus insulated metal panels, two
Where
different.
do we have metal panels on the
Pretty
front?
much,
The clerestory sections,
Yeah,
Anywhere you see dense glass.
okay. And that's a solid color, that's not, okay.
Yeah, medium browns.
Yeah, the shiplap side, the metal siding's in progress.
Okay.
I don't know if this is really for you to answer, but it says moving the existing for FF&E into the new space. Finishing on the 20th? Or are you starting on the 20th of August? Well, it says the FF&E, move existing FF&E into space. Are we, all of that, is that part of what you're doing that you were talking about earlier, that they started some work today?
They did. New furniture deliveries is today, next week is existing furniture and fitness equipment, and with the anticipation that the town offices are gonna be in sometime next week, 16th.
I mean, how aggressive do we want to be until Paul has a chance to finish up final cleanings in areas? I mean, have you started final cleaning in certain areas?
Yeah, we've discussed it as well as with Rocco and as well as with the building department, so they're on board. We had a precursory walkthrough last week, so it's just a matter of finishing up those couple of offices right next to the reception area, right in the little lobby. But then, yes, we do have final cleaning lined up for the end of the week.
For the end of this week?
Yes.
Okay. Is that going to, how's that going to impact the painting and the ceiling tile and everything else that you said you still have some touching up to do?
Well, again, we're working with Rocco to punch out those areas to allow the town to move into them, so it's
Okay.
ongoing.
All right.
We've started with closets, working with Phil, and we'll move into the rooms this week, working with Rocco.
I'd hate to see this get jumped, we jumped the gun, giving them a chance to clean the room, punch it out, close it off, and then the only person that goes in there would be our equipment people. That would be it at that point.
Right, then they're held liable.
Right.
For their damages.
I mean, I'd rather hold back a day or two if we had to on that, giving them an opportunity to complete something. So as we're discussing it, I think that needs to take place. Because there's nothing worse than there's going to be a bunch of finger pointing of who created a bigger mess, if you haven't had a chance. I mean, it wouldn't be fair to the contractor either.
No, we've discussed this at length. I mean, for instance, closets and rooms have been punched. We're taking pictures of rooms literally this morning before the furniture went in, so that we don't get the finger pointing, but it's never perfect, Sal, but at some point, we gotta move stuff in and get the building occupied. Yeah, I would rather do the scenario you're talking about, but, I don't know, this has been in the works for months, and I didn't see enough of an issue to put the brakes on it. I feel comfortable in the way it's going.
And we're all in constant communication, so I don't see any issue with it
I
either.
just,
It's
you
not
don't
like
want
we're
equipment in the way,
giving-
the guy's trying to clean the windows, he's trying to clean the baseboard, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I
There's a
mean,
touch
the
up.
area we're talking about is pretty much human services only.
It's the office area, and they're pretty much leaving through that area.
Yeah.
I have, we're packing now.
Hmm.
I also have staff on vacation following week, which I denied at this 16th
Hmm.
for someone, so I have them here, so
Yeah.
it really needs to happen.
Okay. I just want to make sure we don't lose sight of that we don't end up messy still. It still looks like we moved in 10
Yeah,
weeks early,
regardless-
10 weeks later,
Regardless, it'll be a process, and
Yeah.
we've been working with everyone so far, so I don't see any issue with it.
Thank you.
Anybody have anything else for PAC?
No.
Looks like we're all set. Thank you, Paul. All right. Correspondence and communications. Mona does not have anything for us, no? Okay, thank you. And on to bill payment recommendations.
Before we get there, should we ask, at this point, really, should we be asking for that sink? How are we going to handle that process? Does it come from us requesting a change order for that sink
In the coffee bar?
in the coffee area? Or is that just something you can just issue? If that's what they really want, correct?
Or what does it take to get a license? Proposal request?
That was, okay.
You need something formal?
What's the
I mean, you'd
cost?
have to, yeah, you'd have to have something. Yeah, because I mean, you gotta have size of sink and everything else, I imagine. Okay. Was there anything else from your walkthrough, Phil, that was brought up that should be considered as a PO, that we can get on that right away?
No, that, again, that was a request by the, other than that.
Okay.
Where's the coffee area?
It's the big
Yeah,
half
that's
The
the
half
area.
circle right in the
Yeah.
front?
Yeah, we're right across from
Sure,
the
talking
sitting
about-
area. Yeah,
And there's already plumbing there and everything? Drainage?
apparently
The
just
wall
on the other
behind
side
is
of
a
the wall,
bathroom.
apparently.
So,
Good, so it won't be, it'll be a,
yeah, we'll see. All right.
We're not tearing up floors.
yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see what that
I don't
comes
think
up.
that would happen then.
All right. Bill payments. In the back of your packet, we have
Yeah,
4 invoices. Packs just got handed out.
yeah. Hold on,
I know
I'll
you-
get there. You ready?
Here we go.
Go for it.
Make a motion to approve Quisenberry Arcari invoice 13606 in the amount of $4,251.12.
Have a motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Todd. Any questions or discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstained? Invoice approved.
Make a motion to approve BVH invoice number 02119-183.00-11. Wow. $7,780.
Motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Todd. Any discussion?
Yes. Um, They have, in the upper portion of their task, and I guess I'm looking for some guidance here, Dave, building envelope services in the amount of $6,500, which they've been paid in full. Then below, billing, phasing, testing, and they still have areas here for building envelope services. I mean, are we separating, so they're done completing their envelope, looks like, except for occupancy post. And then all these tests that they've completed, they're still completing some additional testing, I guess.
Yeah, BVH is our commissioning agent, and they are also.
Testing?
They're doing the MEP systems, they're also doing the envelope system. So
The
envelope
but I'm
system-
talking more about the testing. Because the consulting's pretty clear up top, and then you look at the lower portion, they're building
Yeah,
envelope
testing,
services.
They really haven't even started on. I mean, they started to gather information, test procedures, things like that, but the lion's share of the mechanical system testing has not been started.
No, not the mechanical, this is the envelope testing.
Oh,
They've built out 100% of the air barrier adhesion test, which I could see that already.
yeah.
Window water testing, have you seen or witnessed all this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Remember the weeps that needed to get elongated on the windows?
no.
That was as a result of these tests. Actually, it was beneficial. It found an issue and it got addressed.
Oh, okay. Insulated metal panels have been tested? Well, they're billed 100%.
88%.
88%, excuse me. But they haven't even done any?
It's supposed to be a one-day test, too.
It just says insulated metal panel.
I'll have to look at it, Sal. They could mean metal siding. I'm not sure.
Because they did test.
Could be your-
metal siding.
yeah.
Just not the insulated metal panels. I think that's just a typo.
It's kind of a silly way. We have to approve it to discuss it.
Yeah, well, it was previously approved and paid, so.
Yeah, well, that too, but we could hold back others.
Any further discussion?
Well, should we table it until we get an answer, or pending what the metal panel water test is, why should we pay them if they haven't done it?
Well, I mean, it was previously paid and approved.
they should've-
so
yeah.
It's not this bill. This bill's for the windows, so it's already a moot point.
Oh, current.
Oh, I see what you mean.
There's nothing in there.
Previous, yeah.
Rain screen was tested.
Yeah.
The insulated metal panels would not be tested.
So you haven't seen any test reports back, obviously, then?
We've seen it on the rain screen.
Rain screen, but that's it.
Okay.
In windows, yeah.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Invoice approved.
I'd like to make a motion to approve IMTL's invoice number 4711-L in the amount of $4,379.37.
Motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Todd, any discussion? Discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
What remains in their contract? Or is this a TNS?
It's just,
I don't believe it's a contract.
Right.
It's just an hourly, we negotiated an hourly and test.
Right.
Right, but there should be a not-to-exceed limit, right?
I believe there is, yeah.
So what is that?
I think that's in the, I think it's back here.
Or whatever was budgeted for materials testing?
yeah, 41.2,
And how much have we used?
34.8. Yeah.
Yeah, they have, it's $6,400. If you looked at it as a contract amount, the contract unpaid, that's not really a set contract amount.
Right, so plus this 4,300, we're at 45. Is there any more
That's
test,
included in the.
included in that? Okay. And is there any more testing anticipated from them, or is
I
everything?
think just where the catch basin work is gonna go over in the corner there, and so it should be very minor tests left, maybe another half a day or something like that.
So you're saying the 34,000 includes this bill?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? All right, invoice approved. I know we just received this PAC application for payment, but obviously it's gone through the proper channels, Architect and Colliers for,
Well, they sent us a rolled-up version of it today.
yeah, they did, yep, yep. So,
Some kind of trickled in.
Yeah,
As
Yep.
I was getting it, I was forwarding it on.
yeah.
So have you looked at it?
Yes, oh yeah.
Okay. Do you typically sign off on the PAP somewhere?
Do I physically sign it?
Yeah, initial it, something?
Not usually, I can though.
I've always thought if you reviewed it, that you should probably sign off on it.
I mean, it appears as though most items here are in line from what we walked around and saw from earlier.
Well, are we going to discuss it now, or I just have a couple items I want to touch on? Do we have to approve it, then discuss it? I mean,
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, let's put the motion on the
unfortunately, isn't
table.
that silly?
yeah.
yeah,
So I was waiting for you to.
yeah.
Change the rules is what I'm waiting for. I'd like to make a motion to approve. Bear with me one second, I just got to get that requisition in front of me again. And start over. Make a motion to approve PAC Group's invoice 2001714 in the amount of $480,645.30.
A motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by David. Any discussion?
I just have a couple questions. Going down to 01079, final cleaning. To me, final cleaning is, you're done, you bring the people in, and they do final cleaning. Here, we're already asking for, and this is as of July 31st. To me, final cleaning has not been done yet, from what I've seen out there, or even started. It doesn't look like, it looks like broom sweeping to me. I mean, to me, final cleaning is you bring in the cleaning company, and they clean everything, and everybody walks out of there.
That's
It doesn't-
that's not an ideal project. This project is out of sequence from the start. Every direction we turn is out of sequence. So we proceeded with window cleaning.
So you've had people in here doing window cleaning.
There was 5 guys in for 8 hours on Saturday, so
at $9,700, and what's out there remaining is only a $5,000.
Bathrooms are locked behind them, they've been final cleaned. Yes, we've done final cleaning every day.
In my opinion, it doesn't even look like it's been cleaned, from what I've seen. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. I mean, the floors don't look like they've been cleaned, the windows, I don't know. There's just a lot of debris still in there that we claim this to be a final cleaning. I don't know how anybody else feels when they walked around, to me, it didn't look like not even one room was done, or something that you can go in there and say, it's been final cleaned, let's take a look at that.
What am I supposed to do here?
I mean, it's gone through the process, unless you guys want to defend your approval of it.
I'm sorry, if I could comment,
Yeah,
Tom
go ahead,
Arcari. Certainly a certain amount of the final cleaning has been started and done. They've been working on the windows, they have floor protections, a lot of the construction debris all out of the spaces. They now have companies coming in to put furniture in place. I can't sit here and tell you, well, is 97 the right number? You know, maybe the right position is a halfway point in the situation, but they have done some final cleaning. So it's just an evaluation of if you think they're taking too much of a bite into the total amount, then maybe you need to back it out a little bit and ask for a revision, or make a revision manually prior to approving.
Well, and if I could just throw my 2 cents in, I'm looking at this saying, and I tend to agree a little bit with what you're saying, Steve, but we have $680,000 that we're holding back as a whole, roughly speaking, in the big picture. So, I mean.
Right,
if
but
it's-
we are approving a pay application as of 7/31, which was a couple weeks ago.
Right.
So everything that was done up to that point.
Mhm.
And by walking through today, and my interpretation of final cleaning is, final cleaning has not been done yet. They may have done, cleanup, which they're required to do on a daily basis anyways, but to me, out there, it doesn't look like final cleaning, but.
There has definitely been because I've seen them, there has definitely been cleaning companies in there cleaning, washing windows, and doing whatever they can. We're forcing them out of the rooms into the main lobby area because of the furniture deliveries. So you're seeing, when you walk in the building, you're seeing the worst of the worst in the space. I think, I agree with Tom. Final cleaning has absolutely been done or has been started. And to what degree is a discussion we can have. It's definitely not complete, for sure.
Well, I'm not saying it's complete. To me, it doesn't look like I've even started. I mean, you still have rooms you gotta go in there, and there's a lot of details that still have to get done, so.
Yeah, so I guess.
In the way I've managed projects before is final cleaning doesn't happen until everything's done.
Again, that's
and
on
a couple
part of the
days
project,
before
but
substantial
that's not
completion.
worked out of sequence the entire time.
That's
I mean,
fine.
We're going back in the rooms right now.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue a couple $1,000s, it's just I saw that line item and it was charged to, and to me, when I'm walking out there, it did not look cleaned at all.
The message I'm getting right here is not to bring any final that's been done, correct? You got it.
I would say, you gotta do whatever cleaning you need to do, but final cleaning to me, my definition is that's when you bring the cleaners in and they do their final cleaning. They're in there, nobody else is in there, the job is done.
So you have a problem with the verbiage, fine.
Well, unless,
Okay. Like I said, we've been working with you guys. If you want to take the line item, you can do whatever you want with it, you can cancel it out.
well, like I said, I'm not gonna argue over a couple $1,000s, if you guys are confirming the cleaning company was in here, I guess we'll just see what the final product is, that's all.
Yeah, and yeah, when it's all said and done, whether it costs some more money or not, it's gotta be spotless, so. Yeah.
And just one other thing was on the landscaping, where it talks about plantings and lawn. obviously, they've planted everything that they need to, and I saw that they sprayed, hydroseeded. I can see out there, there's already a couple trees that are browned and dying. I don't know if that's a warranty thing, or that's something they're gonna switch out now.
Too hot to switch it out.
I mean, what do,
Again, I don't want to get into a conversation about out of sequence, but obviously the project was delayed. We do own the trees for a year, so we will replace what
Okay,
is not
so that's-
paid back in the spring.
that's just following up, that'll be a follow-up like next year or whatever. Same thing with once the seeding takes, that'll be a follow, like I'm saying, it's like a warranty thing, so to speak, or a
So
follow-up.
it's time for plantings and seedings?
There's a couple of birch trees around back in particular that are particularly bad. There are some sad-looking trees.
Okay.
Bigger question is it on somebody's radar?
Well, you have a landscape architect that comes around and does his
Yes,
part of
it's
it?
on our radar.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's on our radar, plus it's warranted, then, I mean, Steve, are you satisfied with that?
Yeah,
The
I was
warranty
just
is-
inquiring that, I know the plantings are all in, what's the follow-up to that once?
Making sure they live.
Well, it's gonna have to happen next spring to see if they come back or not.
Who's responsible to make sure that the warranties are enforced if we're having any issues? I mean, PAC is long gone. Dave and the architectural team is long gone by then.
We issue the
I-
same one-year workmanship warranty.
No, but I'm saying you're gone already. Who's making it clear to PAC? It falls under your lap, Phil?
Yeah, I would have to take care of the inside, department take care of the outside.
I can comment on this a little bit. If there are specific items that are sort of red flag items, let's say there's 3 trees and they're really bad, you have the ability to make that a part of the certificate of substantial completion and put a value on that. You could say this work isn't substantially complete because they're not in good condition, put a small value on that and retain that value until the trees are completed or replaced. You can also just treat them as a warranty item. Usually in good faith, contractors come back and replace those. We experience this on most projects because there's always some die-off of the landscaping materials in a small amount. We're talking about a few trees, so you could, if you want a legal recourse, you can include it in the certificate of substantial completion.
Thank you.
Did you have anything else, Steve?
And then the only other thing is, next time we meet, we'll be substantially complete, so there'll be a whole list of closeout items. That I just wanna kinda make sure that we either see or know it's been confirmed and all that, so we don't have to ask for them.
Well, that's a good point. Sometimes the certificate of substantial completion is simple. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to approve and get it completed. In this particular case, some of the insulated metal panels are going to be 3 to 6 weeks out. They may be outside of sort of the final completion of the project.
Right.
So those might be an item, and the value associated with it that will show up on the certificate of substantial completion. Ultimately, what that means is it just gives you legal recourse to say we're going to hold back those dollars from the final release of final retainage until that work is completed.
Well, I think he technically has 90 days after substantial completion to close out the project, so to speak, so.
So will we get this list then,
Yes.
or before the next meeting?
Certificate of substantial completion, there will be a list.
Okay.
Is our next meeting is the 13th, right, I think?
So normally how this happens is the contractor asks for a certificate of substantial completion. We prepare and draft that. The contractor will review it. The owner in this committee will have an opportunity to review it, acting more than likely through David and his team. And then a lot of times it goes back and forth through a series of revisions until it's set to where the owner and the committee and the contractor all agree, and then it gets signed.
Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstentions? All right, invoice is approved. Next item up, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Sal, second by Todd. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, have a good evening.
Thanks.
We are adjourned at 5:35.